Hi everyone, it's Kai here with another Kai-ism. Actually, I took the day off work today. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I took a sick day because my voice is not really there. And I was actually even thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe I should just go ahead and just do a video next week when I'm feeling better. But my husband tells me, he's like, no, he's like, that's an excuse. He's like, you've got to go ahead and push through. Just push through. Don't make excuses. And he's absolutely right. But that's actually not what I'm going to talk about today. He said that would be a really good video for another time. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about choices. Me and my husband always say now, and this is actually a relatively new thing, but we always talk about choices. And what we have is every week we me and him, we get an opportunity to be out of the house and like away from the baby. So he takes a night for a couple hours and I take a night a couple hours, and then we even increased it recently where I get a couple hours at the house, just in our house, and then he gets a couple hours outside the house, and it gives us an opportunity to just get caught up on household chores. So the other week our daughter was getting really fussy on his night to be in the house but taking care of household chores, and he decided, he made a choice to just stay in the room with us and just get some sleep. And we talked about it the next night, and I was like, well, do you think that, is it okay for me to take my night this week even though you stayed in the room? He's like, it's okay. It's because I made the choice to be there. And I think that's a really good point. And I even had a friend of mine, I love this, she would tell her children, still pretty young kids, but she would tell them, she'd say, okay, you can make a good choice or you can make a bad choice. And if you do this is the good choice. But if you do this one, this is a bad choice. And I think that worked because they, one would choose to say, okay, well, I want to make the good choice. So let's do that. So she now can say to them, reiterate, good choices, bad choices, what's it gonna be? And so that's kind of cute. But I think really what made me and my husband get into this whole thing about choices, because obviously we all know we have choices. We're a free country. We all are independent people. We're all accountable for our actions. But ultimately what really happened was it was a couple months ago, and my mom was visiting from out of town, and we were having a conversation about like her past life or whatnot, her from some more formidable years that she had. And we were talking, and she's like, I did this and it's okay. She's like, because I made the choice to do that, so I can't be mad about it because I made that choice. And that really stuck with me, because that's absolutely true. No one is a victim, and if you don't want to make a choice but that maybe it is the right thing to do, then the best thing is to communicate about it at least before you make the choice and then feel resentful about it. And I think that's kind of like the hard thing sometimes when people do things that they later on feel like they didn't want to do, is they want to blame others. They want to say, oh, well, you made me do this. You influenced me to make that decision, and now I'm going to resent you. Now I'm going to hold a grudge because you made me do it. And we all have choices. And I think that it's important to know that before we make a decision and then we feel resentment towards it later on. Especially if that choice wasn't even communicated. And how often does that happen where someone just does something they don't want to do, and or didn't even communicate it, and then feels resentment about it later on. But ultimately I think that's just important to recognize that we're all a party to our own decisions and our own actions, and to take that accountability definitely shows a sign of maturity and, you know, better communication later on, because both that one person can say, you know what, I'm not going to be angry about this. I'm not going to resent it. I'm not going to hold a grudge because I made the choice. And it's a great thing. And I know, you know, it's definitely helped me in my husband's marriage, because we now make we all we now make choices instead of necessarily decisions. And we're doing the best thing we can by first acknowledging that decision in ourselves, and then acknowledging that choice to one another. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But if you'd like to see more of my videos, please feel free to click subscribe. And if you want to see more of my videos, there's also you can also check out more on the Volkey TV channel. All right, over.